Good afternoon, everybody. I am Dr. Edelman. I'm going to be teaching your short session 2, World Lit 2 for eCore this semester. And I just wanted to say hi, give you a face with a name, but I also wanted to walk you through some important parts of the way that I've set up the course, just to make sure that you understand where the due dates are, because they're not in the traditional kinds of places. So right now, I just wanted to say hi, and then I'll share my screen with you and show you a few things. Hey everybody, this is Dr. Edelman. Thank you so much for joining me for this brief tour of our classroom. I just wanted to highlight a few important elements to be aware of in the way that I structure this course and the way that I place due dates specifically. When you first get into the course, you will see this first announcement, which has a lot of vital information that you will be using throughout the semester. So I do recommend that you save and print this announcement. It gives you a brief welcome to World Literature 2, Short Session 2, Spring 2019. This is an 8-week session that's cramming 16 weeks of material into a short time, so it's really important that you keep up with the readings and the due dates. I have all of the due dates listed here for all of the major assignments, as well as the discussion question posts and responses. I have made different due dates for the discussion question posts versus the responses that you give to your peers. For example, in Unit 2, the initial discussion question post should be complete by Saturday, March 16th at 11:59 p.m. And please note that 11:59 p.m. is the due time for all assignments unless otherwise noted. Your responses to others, however, are due by Sunday, March 17th at 11:59 p.m. This is to prevent students from doing all of the work in the initial discussion posts at the last minute when the entire unit is due. So notice the entire unit is due Sunday, March 17th at 11:59 p.m. But we want to have time to do the initial posts and have some time for students to see those initial posts and be able to get their responses in before the unit actually officially ends. But because there's no way to separate in the discussion post itself the different due date for the post versus the responses, I'm putting that information here. So you'll notice on the calendar that's in the classroom, you will only see the due date for the whole unit and not necessarily the due dates for the initial post. So we have unit due dates and proctored exam due dates on the calendar, but not due dates written down for discussion posts and the replies. So again, notice that for Unit 3, the whole unit is due by March 24th at 11:59 p.m. The initial discussion question post, though, is due Wednesday that week by 11:59 p.m. This gives you time to do the readings for the first couple days, time to construct a post for Wednesday, and then it gives your colleagues plenty of time to respond to your post by Thursday, the next evening, the 21st at 11:59. And the reason the discussion question posts are due early that week is because there's also an essay due that day, due that unit. So this gives you a few days, including the weekend, to work on the Unit 3 essay. Something similar happens in Unit 6 when there's also a short essay due. So please pay attention to these due dates. I've also tried to write them in the discussion questions themselves. So I'm going to go there now and take a look at an example discussion. So in Unit 3, and you'll notice all the units have an overview, an introduction, an organizer that tells you what's due, and a checklist, and then information about the readings, which are located here, and then the activities, the things that you will do once you do the readings, the discussion, and then for Unit 3, a writing assignment. But if you look in the discussion for Unit 3, I have posted up here in bullet points the due date for the initial post and the due date for your responses. But you won't see that in the calendar because there's no way to separate initial posts and responses within one discussion question. But again, all the information that you need as far as due dates is here in this initial announcement, which I really do recommend that you save and print and put the due dates down in your own calendar, and also as it says here, to make sure that you plan not just when things are due, but when you're actually going to work on those items. Knowing what your work schedule is and doing the best you can to plan ahead. In terms of the course itself, if we go back to course home, if we go to the syllabus, you'll see some important information about how to contact me, and that's all here in the top. The syllabus also has the major important due dates for writing assignments and exams. There are 2 short writing assignments, a midterm exam, and a final writing assignment in this course. You'll also see the breakdown of the grades and my late policy. Generally, I don't accept late work, but if something happens, it's important that you just contact me via email and tell me what's going on, and we can work it out later. Do begin by looking at the Start Here First module, which is here. This has the welcome, the course syllabus, the first discussion about syllabus questions and confirmation, and information that you're really going to need. So make sure too that you go through each one of these areas. Don't just jump around. Go through one at a time and read each thing, especially when we get to the literature. You want to do the overview. The overview and the introduction and the checklist gives you a span of what's going to happen in that unit. The readings and resources show you what you're going to be reading and with some strategies, and then the activities, the things that you're required to do, whether that's discussion posts or quizzes or essays. But again, I wanted to welcome you to this class. You can email me if you have questions, and I do look forward to working with you this semester.